I'm John Cerruto, and welcome to this Hometown special. We're fortunate enough to have a guest of ours today, Ashley Womble. She is the Director of Communication for the Fountain House of New York, which is a wonderful organization helping very challenged people. And Ashley, welcome today.
Thank you.
Tell us something about the Fountain House.
Fountain House, our mission is to help people with serious mental illness live more productive and healthy lives.
When you say mental illness, there's a big spectrum of mental illness.
Sure.
What types of mental illness do you deal with?
People at Fountain House have more serious mental illness, like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder and major depression.
Fountain House was created a while ago.
Quite a while ago, in 1948, actually.
And
We're one of the oldest nonprofits in mental health there is.
Now, whose idea? Was it part of a hospital? Was it an individual that created this?
Well, actually, one of the things that's really ingrained in Fountain House culture is that we were created by people with serious mental illness because they wanted to have a place to go, to spend time with their friends that they had made at various hospitals. And so they created a clubhouse, right? And we still carry that tradition today. So everyone who comes to Fountain House comes of their own accord. We are open from 9 to 5 every day, almost every day, I believe. And it's just a great place for people to come and learn from each other and work side by side in running the house. We've really developed a working community, and that's really the therapy that we provide to our members.
Okay, working community, Ashley. Obviously, in most people's minds, mental illness is usually in a therapeutic setting, whether it's one-on-one or group. You mentioned working. Tell us about that.
So Fountain House we're actually quite a large place in New York. We take up, I believe, half of a city block. So there's a lot of work that goes in, and we have 1,500 members. 400 are probably there every single day. And there's a lot of work that goes into running a place that big. So we have a horticulture department that creates floral bouquets and also makes sure that everything around the house is running properly. We have a culinary unit which creates meals for breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner. And we have other departments or units that are more based on educational or job skills.
You used the word member. There's member, there's staff. What would be a member? Who would qualify to be a member?
Anyone who has a serious mental illness, most likely would qualify to be a member. We call our members because it's really their house. They're the ones who run it, and staff is really just there to support them.
Can you walk us through a possible day at Fountain House for an individual? Somebody that comes in, say he's been there or she's been there now for 2 months. What type of day could they expect?
Sure. Well, that's going to really depend on what unit that they are part of. We have several different units. I mentioned the culinary unit and the horticulture unit. We also have an education unit, a research unit, and a wellness unit. So people, when they come into Fountain House, they'll come, let's say they come at the start of our work order day, which is 9 a.m. They'll come, maybe they'll grab breakfast first down in our culinary unit, then they'll go to the unit where they work, where they do spend most of their time, and there'll be a meeting where at the meeting the unit leaders will talk about the different work that unit needs to do for the day. Today, for example, is cleaning day, so all of the different people in different units are spending time making sure the unit is clean. But they're really different activities, and no day is the same. People can come and go as they wish, but most people probably stay there from 9 to 5.
So in other words, the members are developing skills, real life skills. They're moving forward with their lives and hopefully eventually transition into the world. Right,
exactly. I mean, many members of Fountain House have been there since, the 60s or 70s or 80s, but a lot come and they stay for 6 months or a year, and then they move along and they come back to Fountain House only occasionally. We do have an evening and weekend program that really is around for members who do have, maybe they're back to school full time or they're working full time.
How do they find their way to Fountain House? Is it usually through a doctor's direction?
Well, you know, that's a really good question. A doctor's direction sort of implies that the doctor has sort of made them come, and that's not at all the ethos of Fountain House. But as some of our members who are here today will tell you, they'll find out about it from maybe someone, one of their healthcare providers will make the recommendation or suggestion, and then they'll come and check it out for themselves to see if it's the right place for them.
Now, again, Ashley, you talked about the size and the amount of people that are involved with Fountain House. We know that there's the 47th Street address that you talked about,
right?
But there are other places.
Absolutely, yeah. Fountain House has really grown in its history, and we have an art gallery on in Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan, not far from our main house on 47th Street, where members who are also artists sell their work to anyone who wants to come in and check it out. It's some fabulous artwork. We also have a smaller Fountain House in the Bronx for our members who live in the Bronx and maybe can't always make it to our location in Midtown Manhattan. And one thing I'm really excited to talk to you about today is our farm, Fountain House Farm at High Point.
Here in New Jersey.
Here in New Jersey, that's right, yes.
Up by Montague, I believe.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I believe that Fountain House has had the farm since the 70s. It was given to Fountain House by the Keller family. They had the farm because their son had serious mental illness and really found that the farm was a nice place for him to relax, but also really feel more calm. And they wanted, once their son moved along and didn't spend time at the farm anymore, they gave it to Fountain House because they really believed in our mission.
And we have Kate O'Grady, I believe, from the farm here, which we will talk to shortly, and we'll talk about how that and why that is so therapeutic to be working on the farm. Recently, you had a gathering here at Baltusrol over at the great golf club, and Ken Dudek, your president, was there. Our former governor, Tom Kean, he's been a part of Fountain House also. Can you share part of that event with us?
It was really a fantastic event for, you know, as everyone in New Jersey knows, our neighbors in New York, there's a really special relationship between New Jersey and New York, and a lot of donors from Fountain House live in New Jersey, and so we wanted to have an event to really show off our appreciation and to let people know a little bit about what Fountain House does here in New Jersey. So it was a fantastic event. So we could finally come down to New Jersey and you know, and express our gratitude instead of always asking people to come up to Manhattan.
Well, let's do this, Ashley. Let's break away and show some of that event right now, and then we'll come back and conclude.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Bob Heisler with Hometowne TV, and I'm here at Baltusrol Country Club for the Friends of Fountain House event. And I'm here with Ken Dudek. Ken's the president of Fountain House. Ken, tell us a little bit about Fountain House and its mission.
So Fountain House is a community mental health program for people with serious mental illness. And what we do is we help people get jobs, go to school, have a place to live, and basically live and survive in the community.
Very good. Your presence in New Jersey, is it established yet?
No, it's not. We've had a long connection with New Jersey, though, because we were lucky enough to be given a farm 25 years ago, which is in Montague, New Jersey. So we've always been Fountain House of New Jersey as well as Fountain House of New York, but we're looking to see if we can do some more in New Jersey itself with the rest of our programming.
Okay. And how do you see the progress of your organization with mental health?
So Fountain House this year was lucky enough to be the winner of the Hilton Humanitarian Prize, and because we have about 300 programs all around the world in 32 countries and 34 states. And so we've been making a lot of progress, and we thought we should do better in New Jersey.
Well, let's hope you do. It's certainly a worthwhile effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Ken.
You're welcome.
With former Governor Kean of New Jersey. Governor, what brings you here tonight?
Well, I'm here for Fountain House. Their program is probably the best in certainly the country, maybe the world, as far as how to deal with this particular problem of mental illness. And the fact they're here in New Jersey, trying to expand in New Jersey, is a wonderful thing for the state, because we're now going to be dealing with people who really know what they're doing. And there's probably very few families that haven't got somebody affected in some way. And as a community, we got all sorts of problems. We're now spending a lot of money on, probably in the wrong way.
Okay.
Probably not spending the money efficiently or well or scientifically to deal with the problem. So getting Fountain House in here to show us how to do it is a very good thing for the state to help a lot of people. And frankly, in addition to helping people, if we do it right, we're going to save ourselves some money.
And how do you see your role?
Just as a help. I'm only here to help. I mean, they're a program I've known for, I guess, 30 or 40 years. They've always been the best at what they do. They've done enormously good work in New York and other places, and they've always had a small program here in New Jersey, but this is hopefully the beginning of a big expansion, and anything I can do to help, I will.
Now I'm here with Betty Eastland from Fountain House. Betty, tell us a little bit about your role at Fountain House.
I'm a member of Fountain House, and one of the things that I do there is I help other people to get back into school, as well as work at the farm, which I enjoy. I think Fountain House has helped me to really bring stability and focus into my life. It gave me a sense of value to my life that I could really run with. I learned how to be a valuable member of society, a friend, a family member again. And I think it was very helpful to get me back into school, to have stable housing and stable relationships.
And what do you see as your future?
I hope to run a clubhouse someday.
Fountain House is such a worthwhile project, and hope we see more of them in New Jersey. I'm Bob Heisler for Hometowne TV. Now back to the studio.
Ashley, a great event, a great evening for a great purpose. Tom Kane, of course, Ken Dudak, and all those other people supporting Fountain House. It must have been a very special night for you.
A really special night.
Wow. So, do you think we should meet some members?
Absolutely, yeah. They can tell you more than anyone else how great Fountain House is and what it's done for them.
So there are two individuals here. Who are they?
Lavinia and Chaitanya. And we wanted them to come today because we call them our farm girls. They spend so much time at the farm.
Well, we're going to find out about the farm, and thank you, and we will catch up with you afterwards.
Great.
You're watching Hometowne TV.
So Kate O'Grady from Fountain House, we're joined with whom? Shatina, Lavina. Tell us about the farm.
So the farm is almost 500 acres. It's located in Montague, New Jersey. And members from the clubhouse in Fountain House come up to the farm. There's someone there every day of the year. We have a vegetable garden. We have sheep and chickens and alpacas. We have an apple orchard, bees. So there's a lot going on. We work really hard, and we also get to relax and enjoy ourselves at the farm too.
So, how many acres is the farm? And can you do residential?
The farm is, like I said, it's almost 500 acres. And right now, the focus of the farm is just in conjunction with Fountain House in the city. So we want the members from Fountain House to be able to go up to the farm, and they stay they can do an overnight, they can do a week, or a weekend. So it's really sort of works with the Fountain House in the city, kind of giving a retreat.
So Tanya, you're from the city, and all of a sudden you go out here to beautiful rural northern New Jersey, and you're on a farm. What's that like?
Well, it's very quiet. It's peaceful. I can relax. I also work very hard, though. The farm work is pretty
physical, right?
Yeah,
it's physical.
Physical. I get to hang out with the animals, which I don't do in the city. We don't have those kinds of animals in the city. So it's nice.
It's a
different.
major change. And Lavinia, you also, coming from the city, all of a sudden you're out there on a farm. What is your favorite activity on the farm?
I like taking the produce, like the last time I was on the farm a week ago. We had so many tomatoes that we harvested, and I kind of turned the chalet kitchen into a tomato factory, and I produced 8 gallon-sized baggies of tomato sauce. So when other groups come up to the farm, they can use the tomato sauce to cook, to make pasta or anything like that. So I love doing that, to actually like plant the vegetable, harvest the vegetable, and then use it to cook it, and not use all those like processed, goods with it. So it's kind of great.
Well, look, we all talked about the challenges that some people experience, of course, through mental health. How has the farm benefited your mental health, Lavinia?
Well, so coming, like, before I started at Fountain House, I was like really isolated. I felt like no one understood me. I kind of kept to myself because I knew I had a mental illness, but I didn't want to go back to the hospital. And then going to Fountain House, you know, it showed me that there's people out living with like the same thing as me, same mental illness or something different, but we face the same challenges. And one of my challenges was actually leaving home. I've never like left New York City except for like going to South Carolina like as a small child. And then I went to the farm and I was like scared and nervous. And then I realized like the animals there are kind of like misunderstood like we are as having, you know, a mental illness, and they just need someone that's going to support them, and that's what I need, someone that's going to support me. And that's, you know, basically going to the farm gave back to me. I can handle my anxiety, gain leadership skills, and at the same time I can feed and support these animals who aren't, you know, going to hurt us.
So by giving also, you received and you've learned from a creature.
Yes.
Beyond a human.
Mm-hmm.
Shatonia, how about you? How has the farm helped you?
It was similar. My experience is similar to Lavinia's. Before Fountain House and before the farm, I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't go out much. And I joined Fountain House, and people were really friendly to me. I feel like they're real. Like, they really want to help me, and they really believe in me. And at the farm, I get to know people better, and it's great. It's like a second home to me now, because I go so much. People make jokes, say you should have your mail forwarded there. That's how much I'm there.
Well, Cato Gray, this must be very rewarding for the staff, of course, at Fountain House. Tell us about what it's like. When do you see the transition? What's it like when all of a sudden you see somebody who's had mental challenges coming out of an urban environment, coming up to this beautiful pastoral setting here in northern New Jersey?
Yeah, I mean, again, it is completely, it's great to hear, even right now, hear them say that, because I know Lavinia and Shatonia very well at the farm, and so we get to kind of see the work together, and then we bring the rewards back to Fountain House, I think. But with certain people, I'm thinking of another member who, as soon as they go to the farm, it's like you can just see the lightness kind of show up on their face. I mean, New York City is loud, you know, it can be a stressful environment. And people, like Lavinia was saying, they don't always have the opportunity to take a break from it, to kind of be in the peace and quiet. And it's incredibly important for mental health to be able to, you know, have those breaks, and at the same time we're working hard, we're improving our health, you know, we're growing these organic vegetables, and you get to see sort of the fruits of your labor. So all of those things, you can physically see them in people, and you can hear the feedback from the stories of people telling you how important the farm is to them. Yeah.
How many members can you handle at the farm at one time?
Depends, you know, it depends.
It's quite large.
The chalet sleeps 17 people, I believe. So it's however many we can squeeze into the vans and get up there. Yeah, 17, 18 can sleep in the chalet. And it's great. I mean, we have a lake where people can kayak. We have a fitness trail, so people can walk, and there's a pull-up bar or a balance beam along the way. So there's just tons of activity, tons of space, and it gives people the opportunity to kind of take their own initiative. You know, what do you want to do on this 500-acre farm? Like, you can go for it. Yeah.
In both your situations, Lavinia, I'll ask you first. Have you developed relationships that go beyond Fountain House with some of the individuals that you've met through this organization?
Well, I've met a lot of different people. I'm also a tour guide at Fountain House. I've gotten a chance to meet Charlene McLean, the mayor of New York's wife. And right before we met her, Shatanya and I, we were at Lobby Day in Albany, and we kind of met her husband for a brief second. We had to like push our way through everyone, and we got a picture of him. And even though, you know, I don't speak to her on a daily basis, we joke around like she's my best friend. And I would always have that memory of meeting her and, you know, her asking me to take a picture with her.
That is neat, to meet the mayor and the first lady of New York City and have her in a picture with you and to acknowledge you and to recognize you. Beyond that, that's very rewarding. And Shatanya, again, you know, sometimes we develop friendships through work or through school. Pick up the phone or do something on the internet. Do you communicate with other people in Fountain House, away from Fountain House?
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, Lavinia is my best friend. So, and then we had a young adult program. So we get to go out. We go to movies or theme parks and stuff like that.
So life isn't as isolating as it was prior to this organization for you, as you expressed before, Lavinia. Right now, you feel you're part of a community.
I feel like more than that. I feel like this is like my family. Aside from my mom and my brother, I don't really have anyone else, and my cat. But Fountain House, I'm there every day, and I feel like it's my family. I consider Shatanya my sister. Sometimes I call Kate my sister. Yeah, it's great. It's a really it's a domestic feeling. And even though one day I may not be going to Fountain House every day, once you're a member for life, and I can return at any time. And it's kind of like when you go to college and you come back for Thanksgiving. So
you're an alum. Yeah, you're an alum. Kate, and again, you know, I guess it's very rewarding for staff to see these young people progress.
Yeah, well, they've taught me a lot as well. This is kind of everything at Fountain House we do side by side. So Lavinia and Shatanya have also taught me a lot. And, you know, you can't go to the farm and work side by side and cook meals together without teaching each other. So goes both ways.
Wow. I commend all of you and you young ladies on your great progress, and Kate, you and Ashley and Ken Dudak and all the people at Fountain House. What a wonderful organization. It's been around a long time, but it remains very strong, and I'm sure there are a lot of wonderful supporters of Fountain House, but you're accomplishing great things. So commend you, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining this Hometown special.